Did you know 92% of people struggle with perfectionism in at least one area of their lives? And the other 8%, they're probably too busy color-coding their sock drawer to even be watching this video. Here's the kicker. Perfectionism isn't about being perfect. It's about fear.
Say that perfectionism is just fear in high heels and a mink coat, pretending to be fancy, like, I'm.
And trust me, it's not just in your head. It's actually messing with your energy field. Perfect is poison, y'all. It looks like medicine for your insecurities, but it's actually a toxin keeping you stuck. Every perfectionist thought freezes another piece of your potential, and it blocks your energy flow. And we've been gulping down this stuff for our entire life. I'm Dr. Amirah. I'm an energy psychologist, and for 25 years, I've been helping people break through mental and emotional patterns that keep them stuck. And I always tell my clients, your thoughts aren't just abstract concepts floating in your mind. They're energetic blueprints that are creating your reality. And every time you obsess over perfectionism, you're actually constructing invisible barriers in your energy field. And those self-critical thoughts are like tiny construction workers, methodically laying brick after brick, building the very obstacles that are keeping you from moving forward. But here's the good news.
Wherever focus goes, energy flows.
And today, I'm going to teach you how you can shift that energy, break free from perfectionism, and start taking action. Imperfect, messy, and oh my goodness, it's so liberating. Most people don't realize that perfectionism is actually holding them back. So imagine this. You've got a big dream, maybe a huge goal, and even just a tiny task of cleaning your desk. But instead of taking action, you're stuck obsessing over the perfect way to start. Sound familiar? That's the trap of perfectionism. It feels productive, and it's actually just procrastination wearing a business suit. And here's the real sneaky part. Most of the perfectionist thoughts that are holding you back are completely unconscious. They're like little gremlins in your energy field whispering, "Not good enough yet." And you don't even realize that they're there. These hidden belief systems were programmed way back. Maybe when you were in 3rd grade, your teacher frowned at your art project. Or when your parents fixed something that you made. Your conscious mind forgot, but your energy field remembers everything. It's like an archive of every experience and thought you've ever had. That's exactly what I teach in my workshops. How to identify and remove these hidden belief systems and fears that are keeping you stuck. It's not about pushing yourself harder. Hello, burnout. It's about neuroscience and quantum energy techniques to root out those hidden boogeymen that are secretly sabotaging your thinking. And when you clear these invisible blocks, you don't have to force yourself. You naturally flow. You get into that zone and become that best version of yourself. It's like taking your foot off the brake instead of pushing harder on the gas. And as Brené Brown says,
all perfectionism is the 20-ton shield that we carry around hoping that it'll keep us from being hurt. When in truth, what it does is it keeps us from being sore.
Thoughts create reality. So if you're stuck thinking about your failure, guess what you're manifesting? Yeah, more failure. Ouch. Let me tell you about Carolyn. Carolyn was a senior accounting professional who had been laid off after years in the same role. And she told herself, I'll start applying for jobs once my LinkedIn profile and resume and everything's perfect. And by perfect, I mean that this woman spent 3 weeks debating whether her LinkedIn headline should say, results-driven professional or innovative leader. The universe doesn't care about your LinkedIn headline. The universe is like, hey, just pick one already, let's move on. Carolyn was so busy obsessing over the details that she forgot the big picture. Energy flows through action, not overthinking. Her turning point came when she saw one of my videos where I said, when you align your energy with your intention, the universe responds. It's like ordering cosmic takeout. And Carolyn realized that she wasn't aligning her energy with her action. She was aligning it with fear. So she made a decision, progress over perfection. And here's what she did. She set a goal to apply for 1 job per day, even if she thought her resume wasn't flawless. And she turned her energy from fear to possibility. She stopped tweaking and started submitting. And guess what? Within 6 weeks, she landed 3 interviews and accepted a higher paying position than her previous one. The universe was like, finally, someone who's actually doing something. Let's talk about Mark. He's an executive who decided to make job hunting an Olympic sport. But instead of reaching out to his network, he spent hours overanalyzing every LinkedIn message. What if I sound desperate? What if I use too many emojis? Mark, honey, no one's counting your emojis, I promise. Mark's turning point came when he remembered something from one of my trainings. Everything is energy. Energy is everything. And when you shift your energy, you shift your reality. And using my quantum techniques and my neuroscience tools, Mark was able to identify those hidden fears that were actually blocking his progress. Fears he didn't even know he had. And once we cleared those energetic blocks, networking didn't feel like a chore anymore. Mark decided to make networking a game. And then he challenged himself to reach out to 3 people every single day, even if his messages felt clunky or imperfect. He focused on one connection instead of perfection. And guess what happened? Within 5 weeks, he landed 6 job opportunities and accepted a role at a massive $450,000 a year, the highest he's ever made in his career. Not bad for someone who was worried about using too many smiley faces, right? So Mark's story is proof that the universe rewards action, not hesitation. And here's why perfection can actually feel so heavy. Perfectionism tricks you into thinking you're being productive, when in reality, it's the ultimate energy vampire. As Elizabeth Gilbert hilariously says,
Say that perfectionism is just fear in high heels and a mink coat, pretending to be fancy, like, oh, hello.
so think about how many times have you delayed starting something because it wasn't right yet? The time wasn't right, or you just didn't feel ready. Newsflash, you're never going to feel ready. Never. It's like waiting for that perfect temperature to go swimming. Just jump in and deal with the initial shock. So here's how to break free from perfectionism. Let's break it down into 3 simple steps. Perfectionism isn't about high standards. It's about fear. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, and fear of looking human. As I often say, your thoughts create your reality. So choose thoughts that support your growth, not your doubts. What makes my approach different is that I don't just tell you to think positive. I give you neuroscience-backed techniques to actually rewire your brain and your energy field, removing the unconscious blocks that have been holding you back for years. Success isn't about being flawless. It's about showing up, taking messy action, and learning as you go. As Tony Robbins says, progress equals happiness. Take small, imperfect steps. Start that project that you've been overthinking about. Share an idea that you've been sitting on. Send that email, even if it's got some typos. Typos are kind of proof that you're human, not a robot. Congratulations. And here's what happens when you let go of perfectionism. You free up that mental energy to focus on what actually matters. You feel lighter. You feel more confident and more productive. You open yourself up to more opportunities that you never thought possible. I see it all the time. And when you align your energy with that action, you create flow. And the flow is where the magic happens. So here's your challenge. Take one small, imperfect step today. Maybe it's starting that project. Maybe it's reaching out to someone, or finally hitting send on that email that's been sitting on your drafts since last Tuesday. Whatever it is, just do it. Don't wait to be perfect, because it will never be perfect. To create perfect progress is like Bigfoot. Lots of blurry photos and no one's actually seen it. So before you go, tell me in the comments, what's that one thing that you're going to do imperfectly today? Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Let's move forward, lighter. So that's it for today's video. If you guys want to learn more about my in-depth quantum or neuroscience techniques for removing those hidden blocks faster and easier, go ahead and click the link in the description for more information.
Okay.